This is the Following the Joy podcast, a place to talk about being the best version of yourself, following your heart, making the changes needed, and having fun on this adventure we call life. So if that sounds like your sort of thing, then I invite you to stick around. I'm your host, Debbie Westwell, and this is Following the Joy. In this episode, I'm chatting to Pinky Chong, who is a physical therapist and has been for 30 years, but has built up a business on the side in fine luxury resale. So basically reselling your items. And she genuinely believes that anybody can sell anything that they've got in their closets at home, and all you need to do is just get started. She's super interesting and fascinating, and she loves helping and has helped lots of other women, especially mompreneurs, that's her word, to discover how to basically make a profitable venture from selling things that are no longer needed. She gives us practical insights and tips. We talk about the safety around online selling and buying, and talk about like kind of the connection between making money, decluttering your closet, but also kind of decluttering your life energetically as well as physically, and how we can manifest from that. So absolutely some classic tips in here. Hope you absolutely love this episode and let me know what you think. Hi, Pinky. How are you?
Great, Debbie. How are you? Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you on my podcast, and let's talk about all of the things to do with high luxury, like fashion and resale, and just everything about you, really. So I'll open up the floor. So just introduce yourself to my listeners, please, if you don't mind, Pinky.
Of course, yes. My name is Pinky Chong. I'm a physical therapist by trade, but whenever I started having children, and that was a long time ago, I really wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. So I constantly looked for ways to be with them and stumbled upon reselling. I started selling stuff out of my closet, and then it just organically grew into reselling, and grew into the luxury reselling that I do now. I still do it, so I can still keep learning the resale space while I'm also consulting with mompreneurs, and kind of grew into the retail and resale business. So it's been a wild ride.
Oh, it sounds like it's been a ride. Mompreneurs. I love that.
Right? Mompreneur.
What a great word. All right, okay. So I mean, I'm super interested in the resale stuff, but let's kind of like start with the physical therapy, because that's what you mentioned first. So how long have you been a physical therapist for?
I was born and raised in the Philippines. We live in Texas now. So immediately after graduation, that was back in 1991. I told my parents I'll have a gap year before going to medical school, and came to Texas with my classmates in college. Got hired in a hospital. We all worked together. And then along the way, met my now husband of 27 years.
Oh, that's so cute.
So that's kind of how I ended up here in Texas from the Philippines. Obviously, I never went back home. I mean, we still do to visit, but med school was kind of in the back burner, and I'm too old now to go back. So, but things unfold for a reason. We have a beautiful 19-year-old daughter and a 23-year-old son. So
that's amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, first of all, I love it from the Philippines. ¿Cómo está acá?
Oh my God. No way.
So basically, I've just said, how are you?
Yes. So now I'm curious, how did you learn that?
So I worked on cruise ships for about 8 years. So a lot of the staff on cruise ships were massively international, but was a huge population of Filipinos. And
you know, so I ended up like, all I know is come esta mabute. I used to know like a few other words, but I can't really remember them. But I always
Yes,
find that at least if you know how are you and I'm good in most languages, it opens
yes,
doors for you. So
absolutely,
and
absolutely.
do you know what? I just love people from the Philippines. You're just the nicest, happiest people on the planet, and you all sing. I know that's probably generalizing people from the
Yes,
Philippines, but I just find it's very true with everybody
yes,
else.
yes. Karaoke. That's kind of one of our most cherished get together kind of
Yeah.
activities. Like you bring out your karaoke and start singing.
Do you know what? That's how you knew that you were being accepted into a group of people on the cruise ships. If you got invited to a party and as soon as you walked in, you got handed a karaoke mic, you were like, oh, I'm down. These
Yes,
people like me. It's good.
right, right. Funny
Although
you
nobody
said
wants to
that.
hear me
Yeah.
sing.
Oh, I'm sure you have a beautiful voice. I'm sure
Do
you do.
not. I really
Yeah.
don't. So okay, right. Let's go back. So you went to Texas on a gap year, and I love that you met your husband and just stayed there. That's just like kismet, isn't it? I think that's amazing. Was it hard for you to adjust though to kind of living in Texas? Or
I think I was kind of blessed because two of my classmates in college, I followed them here. So I wasn't really alone. And like you said, Filipinos are just everywhere almost, especially in healthcare and obviously now in cruise ship from what I'm finding from you. So there I had two friends from college. They were all also physical therapists. And then back in those days, that was when there were a lot of healthcare professionals coming over. So I was surrounded by a lot of nurses and other physical therapists who are also Filipinos. And that kind of made the transition a lot better because listening to other nurses and therapists experiences when they came here alone, it was a bit of a struggle, but I was just blessed that I was surrounded by other Filipinos, so that made the transition
oh, that's
quite.
wonderful. Yeah, it was meant to be. It was
Yeah,
meant to be.
yeah, yeah.
So how hard is it being a physical therapist? Is it a rewarding job? Or are there days where you're just like, oh, I can't do this anymore?
I I think just like, and again, I'm generalizing. I'm sure there's other people who love their job every day, but just like any other job, there's when you get overwhelmed, it's like, oh my gosh, why am I here? But I think the biggest thing for me is, whenever the patients say, oh my gosh, thank you so much, or when you meet them even years after and they go, remember when I couldn't even get out of bed and you helped me, and now I just finished. One of my patients actually I met years after, and he was like, remember when I couldn't even get out of bed, and I just finished my marathon. He was a runner before he got
Wow.
sick, but he went back to running, but it was to the point that he was intubated and
Oof.
was bedridden, and he started really from that point to actually going back to running
Oh,
a
so that
full
gives you like a little
marathon.
kick of happiness then, doesn't it? I
Yes,
guess.
yes. So
Yeah.
most of the days that I felt burned out or overwhelmed with paperwork, it's like, okay, there's a lesson here. You're helping people, and that kind of
Yeah.
gives you a little bit of perspective.
Yeah. Oh, the paperwork. But
Yes, the
yes, I
paper.
love that you give you that perspective. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, the
Completely
paper.
love that. So you still do a little bit of physical therapy, don't you? But alongside your other business. And I know that you're also massive about putting family first, which I think is awesome. Because I think a couple of times when we were trying to like get a date for the interview, like, I'm just busy with my family. And I was like, I really respect you for the fact that you're like, my family comes first and I'm dealing with everything else afterwards. It's great. So right, let's kind of then move. So you said you got pregnant. Was that with your son then? And then you decided you wanted to be like a stay-at-home mom and needed
Yes,
the
yes,
money, I guess, in order to be able to do that.
Right.
So did you always have an interest in fashion? And so you had a closet full of everything, or is it just something that you kind of like fallen into? I'm
I
fascinated.
Those are like really great questions. I think I've always you know how you just do something naturally and then you
Yeah.
never really think about why am I doing this thing? So thank you for those questions. I think looking back, I've always, liked to shop. Like to shop and, buy stuff that sometimes you don't really need. And I think a part of the selling stuff out of my closet was brought about by trying to be responsible and at the same time trying to declutter because now I have a son, and so a lot of those things kind of brought me into it. And of course, even back then, even before I got married, I think I had this in my head, like when I have children, I want to stay home with them.
Yeah.
So
I
that was,
love it. I love the kind of the merging of like your passions, if that makes sense. So if you always love to shop, I mean, fair play. I'm probably the opposite to you. Don't really like shopping. I've got
um,
like a curvier figure, so I can never find anything that fits me. And I'm super tall as well, so I can never find anything that fits me. So if it's a necessity, I'll go out and shop. It's not an enjoyable pastime for me. So I love it when people like find things and wear designer clothes and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, that's just not my destination in life.
well, I'm kind of the opposite of you. I'm like short. I'm barely. For a long time, I thought I was 5 feet tall, and come to find out, I'm only 4'10". So everything is short for me. So I think,
Oh,
well, that's kind of my excuse for shopping. Like, oh, I need to keep looking for stuff because I can't find anything. So I just keep buying things.
love it. Love it. And I love that you mentioned decluttering before as well, because I do a lot of like kind of manifesting abundance and things like that when I'm coaching. And one of the things that helps with manifesting is decluttering. And your closet is the best place to start because actually everything holds energy. So if you've got an outfit that you maybe wore with, I don't know, like not you, for example, because you've been married for a long time, but if you're worn on like dates that haven't worked out and you've probably left it in the back of your closet and now you no longer wear it, it's carrying the energy from those dates, and essentially if it's there, get rid of it. So I love that you can probably help people do that and then they get money, and what you're doing is clearing out physical space, but you're clearing out energetic space as well, and then that just brings more space so that you can bring either more physical stuff or more fabulous abundance into your life energetically. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Well, oh my gosh, I love that you're saying that. It kind of gives me shivers right now because I'm actually hoping that people will realize what you just said.
yeah,
Um, I guess whenever I teach people like resale, I kind of show the immediate need for maybe extra cash or extra space or whatever it is that they need. But what you just said is something that I'm hoping on the back end they'll find out. So
yeah,
I'm so glad that you said that, because that's actually one of the things that, it's like a gem that I want other people to realize. Of
yeah,
course, we have immediate needs of needing extra cash, especially around this holiday. But it's almost like a deeper meaning to just reselling stuff just for the sake of decluttering and finding extra cash is what you just said. So this is
yeah.
so good. This is so good. Thank you for sharing that.
It's all right. The two go hand in hand really well, though, don't they? Because obviously
Yes.
anybody could probably do with that little bit of extra cash, especially if you've maybe got children or you've got an event coming up like this time of year at Christmas, or
Yeah.
if you've got, I don't know, there's always something, isn't there? There's always birthdays, there's always you know, like events, there's always children need extra clothes or to go to a camp or a sports event or something, or vacations, whatever it looks like.
Yeah.
So yes, I love that you help people. Now, do you help with, is it all only kind of like high-end luxury goods, or is it a little bit of everything, of closet clear
Pretty
out?
much a little bit of everything. I think I've been, doing this since 2010, so over a decade ago. And when you do it so long, you'll find out that you can pretty much sell anything. So
Oh, wow.
it doesn't really matter what you have in your closet. It's just a matter of taking photographs and doing the description correctly to where it's interesting to other people. So yeah, you can pretty much sell anything. My husband actually is so funny because he's like the opposite of what I used to try to teach my clients. But watching him, I've learned a lot, because he would literally just walk around the house, even outside of the house, because we do have some shoes that we leave outside of our door.
Yeah.
And I even have a picture of him, because I'm like, okay, I need to capture this because I can use this to tell other people that you can literally do this even if you don't have an experience. Because he was literally just spreading some shoes on our pavement and taking pictures outside.
I love that. I love that you've got him into it. That's fabulous.
Yeah. And so while I'm on the opposite side of, cleaning everything and finding the perfect background for the perfect lighting. And here he is, and he's selling stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I need to really, share this with others. It doesn't have to be, this picture perfect. You can literally just leave it on the ground and take photos.
Yeah, I guess that's it though. And it's like, if somebody wants it, somebody wants it. It's like one of those things, people either want it, they're looking for it, or they're not. So, that's it. So do you have sites over there? So I'm UK based, and I know that we have some like apps that we can download on our phone. There's one called Vinted. I'm sure there's other ones. I am not promoting it by any shape or form. I'm not affiliate. But that you can sell through them. So do you have the same over there? Or do you mainly use like online platforms like I don't know, like Facebook Marketplace or whatever?
We do have online platforms, and like you are, I'm not an affiliate, so I'm not trying to promote it, but it's just something that I use. So we have something like Poshmark, which is kind of like Vinted, and eBay, of course, is more global. And there's, on Facebook, there's a Facebook Marketplace, and then there's also something called like Facebook groups that are more private and specific to whatever you're selling. So
okay, so I guess with the higher end luxury goods, you probably have to target specific people as opposed to like everybody around the world. So do you ship globally then? Do you find that you ship globally, or is it just
yeah. So that's one thing that you actually learn when you start selling stuff, just the smaller stuff from your closet and just practically around the house. I usually tell people, don't start with the high price one, just kind of learn how to ship, just so you learn the safety things to remember. I have tracking and all those things.
Oh, see, I love that. That's a golden nugget right there. Like, start small. I'll repeat that later to remind people.
Start small. So if you make a mistake, it can just be, your $2-3 shirt that you never really wanted to wear anyway, instead of like a couple hundreds or even a couple of $1,000.
So I guess that leads me perfectly into what I want to ask you next, because obviously, like, when you're buying or selling something that is branded online, so say like, I don't know, a Chanel handbag, first of all, if you were buying online, how do you know that it's real? And how does the exchange work when we're talking thousands of pounds, or sorry, thousands of dollars?
Or either way, yes. So there are reputable resale platforms online. And also there are individuals like me who sell directly to customers. And I usually do it, through Facebook groups.
Mhm.
And those are the reason why I like that platform, is because there are people called administrators and moderators. And so everything's transparent and the members are protected, and you post what you're trying to sell on the group. So there's so many, literally like thousands of eyes on it.
Yeah.
So if there's something off, then most members are really proactive in protecting others, and they'll go, they'll report the listing to the admins, or directly message the other member if they see that someone's interested. But those kind of forums are well protected, just because there's, it's very transparent. You have to list, what you're trying to sell in the group. So there's so many eyes on it.
All right. Okay. So if you do you think you could spot a fake?
Yes.
So like if you spotted a fake, like on the pictures, you would like report it to the moderator or the like administrator or whatever, or like,
yes.
Stop somebody selling it. That's
Yes.
awesome. I like that. You're also like a like luxury brand angel then, aren't you? Like,
Yes.
you're helping people make safe purchases.
Yeah. And that's the beauty about, reselling, because you learn about, how scammers operate and stuff like that. So there's just different, different tricks on how to spot like who's trying to scam someone, or if something's fake or not. So
wow. Okay, so you authenticate, don't you, for fine goods?
yes.
So what does that involve? Do people send them to you first and you say yes or no, or?
So we can just do it through photos. There's some items that I would prefer to see it in person. But usually through photos, you can authenticate products. There's certain landmarks that you would ask the person who's trying to have it authenticated sent to you. So yeah, usually through photos, like several photos. So like a detective looking at
I mean, that's the good thing about technology nowadays, isn't it? You can do video, you can photo, and so it's easier to know that you're not getting a fake, because you can physically say to somebody, now I need you to FaceTime me right now,
yes.
and kind of video it and stuff, and then it's not like they're taking pictures of one off the internet and then they're selling a completely different one.
Oh my gosh,
so
look how good you are, because there are
it's like internet dating, right? You're supposed to check them out first, I guess that some people would probably prefer their Chanel handbag or their Gucci shoes or whatever to their boyfriends and their partners anyway. So.
like, prove to me you're real. Yeah, unfortunately, it's there are people who are gonna always trying to scam other people, and it's unfortunate. Like you said, they'll, especially with technology, they'll, like some of the groups that I'm in, we do require members to take pictures of the handbag with their what we call name card. So you can literally just take a piece of paper and just scribble your name, just to prove that is you and you own it, you have it in your hand. But we've had members who would Photoshop their names on other people's photos and stuff like that. So it's real unfortunate.
So what advice, I mean, do you have any advice? I feel like this is maybe a leading question. Do you have any advice for somebody who maybe has bought a fake by accident or has been scammed? What would you do in that situation?
Oh gosh. One big advice I would tell anyone who's looking at buying something is always make sure that, if you're buying through a platform, then buy through the platform so that you can always have their support. Because that's another way of people scamming people. You know, they'll say, oh, here's my, like say on Vinted or Poshmark. They'll say, oh, I just really love this, and here's my number, and you know, I can, you know, they'll make ridiculous promise like, you know, I'll pay you extra if, you know, if you could just text me, and we'll just do our transaction there. So always, you know, buy through the platform. And also if you're buying from individual, you know, use like, again, I'm not an affiliate, but PayPal has really good customer support.
Right.
So
Yeah.
not, you know, not anything that doesn't have an invoice, because PayPal does have, you know, the friends and family. So always ask for an invoice so you can be backed up just in case you end up, you know, buying a fake or something.
Brilliant. That's great. So don't leave the platforms, and use a payment system as opposed to just bank transfer or something like that.
Yes.
That's brilliant. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
and have it authenticated, you know, because you can have it authenticated before you buy anything.
So if someone's looking to buy like a luxury item, we're talking like multiple hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars, like upwards, basically upwards of like probably a couple of $100. How would you go about having it authenticated? Is the people in most of the groups that would do that?
Most of the groups would have like a recommended authenticators, and also you can just, you know, you can Google search like authenticators.
And do you pay for that service, or is that a free service that you pay for it? Yeah. So everybody, message Pinky if you need, if you need anything authenticating.
Yes, message me.
Yeah, I love it. So
but I'm pretty good about you know, if it's something that I can't, like Hermes Birkins, and that's beyond my expertise. So I do have other authenticators that I can recommend.
Oh, okay, so you are like, you know, some brands inside and out, and then some brands you're just not familiar with, and so you refer people on to other people. Oh, that's an awesome way of working. So what's your favorite brand?
Yeah. Do what?
What's your favorite brand? Do you have one? Not that you're an affiliate.
Yeah,
I'm saying that a lot.
I've sold a lot of Louis Vuitton and Gucci and Christian Louboutins. So those are the brands. Some of the brands. I have a few other ones, but I prefer, just like I do, you know, anything. I want to make sure that I'm the right fit. So those are the brands that I've been exposed to with reselling and having owned most of, you know, some of it, a lot of it. So those are the ones that I prefer to authenticate. And then the ones that I'm not familiar with, then I just refer them out to other authenticators. So.
And so are you always looking for a bargain online yourself? You can either keep for yourself or sell on, I guess. Do you sell someone, buy and sell straight away type of thing, or do you buy and use for a bit?
Yes, so that's the beauty of resale. So you're so you're so great about asking all these questions, because that's actually one of the things that I wanted to share. The beauty about reselling is, like, think about pretty much everything that you wear or use, it's practically for free, right? Because you know, after you wear, you can always resell it. And if you found it at a great price, and you can even resell it for more. So that's the beauty of resale, because now you not only will you wear stuff for free, you can actually wear them and sell them for a profit. So it's a win-win.
That's brilliant. And also, you're saving the planet, because you know, it's reusing clothes. Nothing's going to landfill, and they don't necessarily have to make more. I'm sure the brands will make more and sell more, but you know, it's that kind of loved pre-owned stuff that I absolutely love. I love anything that's like pre-owned, because I just think if it's still got some life in it, it's been loved by somebody else, I'm down for it because I'm saving the planet.
Yeah. Like why not? Yeah, that's the bigger picture, actually, saving the planet. One handbag, one shoe at a time. I think I'm
One
most of that.
authenticating angel at a time.
Yeah. Big
Oh,
clothes and then saving the planet and making money. I mean,
so have you got like a favorite item that you sold? Two-part question, actually. Have you got a favorite item that you've sold, and have you ever sold anything and then had sellers regret and gone, oh no, I wish I hadn't sold that?
oh yeah, all the time. I have so many. I can't even tell you, but yeah, it happens often. And so yeah, then it snowballs into, oh, I need to look for that item again. And then once you find it, then you go, okay, I'm ready to resell it.
Fair enough. So have you always got like a list going on that kind of you're looking for, if that makes sense?
Yes. So I'm unlike any other coaches out there who has like this list of, you gotta go find all these things to make money. I think the way I've navigated resale is really just finding stuff that I like myself. And then it makes reselling
Yeah.
it easier, just because whenever you get to the technical part of it, of making the description, it just flows better. It's because it's something that I like in the
Yeah.
first place, so it's
It's
easier.
definitely easier to sell something that you're
Yeah,
passionate
yeah.
about. I've
Yes.
never succeeded in sales when I've not really liked the product that I'm selling. But if
Yeah.
I love the product that I'm selling, I can, sell all day long. It's not a problem
Yes.
at all.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's
And
just finding that happiness and joy.
it's the same thing with trying to find stuff that you want to sell. Same mindset. I just grab what you want, and then it's easier to sell it.
That's brilliant. What's the highest? Now, this might be a cheeky question, so you can tell me to get lost. What's the highest priced item that you've ever sold?
10K.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's completely out of my realm. I'm a little bit in my head like, wow, that's amazing. I'm sure some people will just be like, 10K, that's nothing.
But in resale, that's not even like a big amount. I have friends who sell Birkin bags for like 500K. So my little 10K bag, it doesn't really matter next to it.
So does it become competitive online between resellers being like, oh, I did this, I did this, I did this? Or are you all kind of like a community of just want to support each other and hope everybody has fun type of thing?
Just like in any other workplace, you'll always have those little, drama. But overall, I think I've been so blessed to be surrounded with resellers who genuinely would support each other. Most of them I've never met in person, but they're like one of my closest friends. Yeah,
that's really nice then, that there's a community that's built out of it, because I think community is super important.
Yes.
And then obviously, like you said, you refer people, and I'm sure people refer people to you when they don't have the expertise and stuff. So I love a community.
We have a reseller. I'm a member of a few reseller for groups, and that's pretty much what you do. Someone would post, hey, I have a buyer and they're looking for this, and if any of you have it. And so that's kind of how the community works. So
okay.
Yeah.
And does it become addictive? Like, when you get that first hit of adrenaline, like, woo, I've sold something, do you then be like, all right, I'm gonna go and find something else to sell?
Just start walking around the house. It's like, oh, I can sell this and I can sell this.
You've suddenly got a very minimal house.
That's actually my goal. One of these years, I'll get to that point.
Oh, I love that. I've genuinely got friends, and her brother like have almost like a competition about who can like declutter the most, basically. And I think I'm sure
Yes,
she told me a story that her brother had even got rid of like his couch or his, and he had like one chair, and that was it. That's all he needed because he lived on his own. And then just like, I
that's
think that's
my
extreme,
goal.
but
Gosh, yes. Yeah,
do you ever watch
minimalist.
those hoarding programs and are like, oh,
Oh,
couldn't cope with that?
my husband actually thinks I'm the weirdest person because well, he'll come in most days and I'm watching, crime stories, or you brought it up, hoarding stories, the hoarding show. And
Yeah.
I was telling him, I was like, that's my motivation. So I can keep cleaning the house.
I love it. I mean,
Decluttering.
it is
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
it is there's other things going on, isn't there, when people are hoarding? And I guess anything extreme, probably
Yes.
selling everything is probably, or getting rid of everything is probably, something else going on. But I guess finding that happy medium and
Right.
selling what you don't use anymore. So
Yes.
so I heard a trick, and I don't know if you've ever heard this one, and I might ask if you've got any tricks. So I heard a trick to like start the year and you turn all of your coat hangers round the weird way so it doesn't hook over easily. It's almost like in hooking backwards on itself. And then as you wear it throughout the year, you replace the hanger the right way that you would normally put it. So by the end of the year or 6 months or whatever your period of time is, if you can see immediately which hangers that you've not moved around, and so consequently you've not worn those clothes. I don't know whether is that a good tip? Have you heard of that
Yes,
one?
yeah, I've never heard it. I like that tip.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I can just see myself. I'll have like 10 hangers because we don't realize it, right? That we keep
No.
wearing the same thing. And there's actually a research. Um, I can't tell you exactly what my source is, but I promise you there's actually an article out there that we actually just wear 20% of our whole closet.
Wow. I guess that goes back to like, I don't know whether it was like what it was like for you growing up, but for me, and I don't know where the story come from because I don't think it is my parents, but it's that, oh, don't wear that, that's for best. Or, don't wear that, that's for best. You'll wear those, you can wear those ones out, it's fine. I mean, it's actual fact, like every day could be your last day. So just wear everything that's for best
Right.
and enjoy it. And then, like you said, sell it on, make the money back, get
Yeah.
something new, and then constantly recycle, I guess. But
Yeah.
do you have anything like that where it was like keep it for best, or is that just me and my upbringing?
Yeah. I think for my parents it was more it was always just whenever we got anything new, you wore it for mass, for church first.
Yeah.
To be blessed. And then
So only on Sundays.
only on Sundays. and then
the term
and
is
then
Sunday
after
best,
that you
isn't
can
it?
wear it. Yeah. And then after that you can wear it anytime. But
Brilliant. So do you have any tips for our listeners then about like clearing out, deciding what to sell, where to start, that kind of thing?
I like easy stuff. I think a good starting point would be, like you said, just walk in your closet and kind of scope which ones you always wear and which ones you haven't worn in the last 6 months, and maybe start with just 10 items. I get overwhelmed quite easily, so
Yeah.
to me it's like always start small and simple, because if not I'll be like, okay, I'm not doing this.
I love that. I don't think you're alone at getting overwhelmed, to be perfectly honest. I think a lot of people would probably feel the same. I love the fact that you said walk into your closet, because that's a very, in my head, that's a very American thing. In the UK, we just have wardrobes where you just open the doors. I'm sure some houses do have walk-in closets, but none of the ones I've ever lived in.
Yeah. Yeah. So just you open your closet. Yes.
Yeah.
Or
That.
pull out your drawer and just pick 10 items that you haven't really worn the last 6 months and start from there.
I mean, I bet if our listeners go into their drawers or their closets, wardrobes, whatever they've got now, you will probably find things in there that don't fit you anymore. And how many times have you been going, well, I'll keep that pair of jeans because I'm going to lose weight. But let's face it, it's been 10 years and you've never fitted back into them. So I know that sounds harsh, but you know what? Make some money on them and sell them. Or
Right.
how many times have you gone into something or somewhere and you've bought something? I do it all the time. I buy something on sale somewhere and then I never wear it. It's still hanging in my closet with the tags on it. And
there
so
you go. Yeah, those are one of the best things to resell, actually. You can resell any items, new or used. But of course, whenever they have tags, you just increase your market for that. So
love it. You're such a good businesswoman. So okay, let's tell people how they can work with you. So do you work one-to-one with people kind of at their homes, or do you also do things online as well?
I usually just do things online.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just virtually.
So does that look like kind of like a Zoom call or a video call, and like they're taking you into the closet with them?
Yes. So we start from there, and then eventually I want to get into like a membership, so we can actually have like a group or a forum. I think it's very motivating when you have like a community that can keep you accountable and motivated.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So as I said before, I think communities are amazing, and I think that like it's good to have that supportive community, and especially if it's something that you love doing. Do you know what I mean? Like if you genuinely love your Louboutins or whatever it is that your Burberrys, whatever it is that you absolutely like love and adore, and you're always like after the next one, whatever that is in life. Sometimes your family don't always understand, your friends don't always understand because they're not on the same wavelength as you, but finding that community of people who can enthuse about the products with you, or can swap, can share stories, can point you in the right direction of things, can recommend. I think that sounds awesome.
And it's always beyond just simply having the thing. I've met so many people, and we start talking about handbags and shoes, and then it just eventually go into deeper conversations like family and life, and so it's amazing.
It turns into a proper support group.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Now I've got a bit of a random one for you. So a big thing that started over in the UK now, and again, I don't know whether you've got it overseas, in the States, is keeping the designer clothes but loaning them to people. I don't know if that's a thing over.
Yeah, that's actually there's a big company here in the States. That's what they do. Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's actually a real business.
Yeah, I love that. Because I just think if there is something in your closet that you just think, I just really can't get rid of this, you can still make money off it.
But in the UK, are there actual individuals who does that? Or is
I think you're probably right. I think it's more companies. There might be some individuals that do it. I guess the thing is, it's going back to that safety aspect again, isn't it? And I think if you've got a company that's reputable, you've got a business address, like, who pay taxes and stuff, and you've got a way of, there's like legal trading agreements, isn't there, that they have to adhere to, whereas with individuals you do have to be a little bit more careful, and there's always a risk of sending goods out and then they come back damaged or whatever it is. So I don't know how it works with deposits. I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't used them myself. Maybe I should look into it.
Yeah,
But no.
I've seen it and read about it. I think it's a great, business model actually.
Yeah.
But then again, like you said, it can run into what if, it gets
Yeah.
damaged. So now the
Yeah.
item's damaged and it loses value. So
I guess it might be something that you can do in a small community or in a local community. Like, I'll lend you my Chanel
right.
handbag for $200 for the night, and leave me a $200 deposit, and then when you get
Right.
it back, you give it back. Although, to be fair, I don't know how it works with pricing, because obviously somebody might just pay a little bit and then run off with it. So you've got
Right.
to
Yes. I'm
you know
sure there's a deposit or something. I'm not sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
it would have to be a huge deposit.
Right. And then you think about, how people are gonna wear it out. Are they gonna be as careful as you are and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, that's true.
Right.
Oh, do you know what? It's been fabulous. So tell people, Pinky, how can they get in touch with you if they're interested in learning more from you, in seeing what you're selling, in, I don't know, working with you? How do people get in touch with you?
Oh, I'm on Instagram, Pinky Chong _. And also I have a website and it's pinkychongconsulting.com. So either
Perfect.
one of those. Happy to connect with you if you have any questions.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you very so much. And I'll put all of those in the show notes anyway. So I'm just going to kind of summarize, I think, what we've said, because this has been awesome. It's opened my mind to like so much stuff. And I feel like, and especially, as the seasons change, people like
Yes.
change clothes around. There's never a wrong time, I guess, to sell goods of any variety.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes you maybe need to be a bit patient with it. So I think the good tips that we got out of that were start small at first. So like you kind of get your eye in, I guess, and like learn how to sell things and write up and entice people with it. I guess it's all about marketing, really, isn't it?
Yes.
And don't ever leave the platforms that you are buying from as a buyer. Like, and as a seller, don't encourage people to leave a platform, and always use a payment platform,
Yes.
so that there is some form of complaints procedure or somebody's got your back, basically. And then the other thing you said was start small and simple. So like you said, sometimes you can get overwhelmed. Just go for 5 to 10 items at first, photo them, list them. Do you use ring lights and stuff? I love my ring light, I'm not gonna lie.
I like I said, I like to do things simple. So I do have a ring light, but I don't use them. I actually use natural light. My
Okay.
favorite spot in the house is outside of our home. It's at our front door because there's, it's where the perfect lighting is coming from, just natural lighting. So that's where I take my photos. I bring my little dining chair and put up all my items. And yes, that's what I've been doing, all these years. And of course, with clothing, I usually do it inside our home. And my favorite spot is the doors. So just
Okay.
hang it on the door and take photos.
So as long as you've got good lighting or natural
Yeah, good
daylight, I
lighting.
guess don't do it in the evening time. So
Yes.
oh,
Just so
see,
it'll showcase the items beautifully and clearly. And when you take and I do want to share, if you don't mind, just
no, go for it.
tips on taking photos. Good lighting, natural lighting is better. Clear the background as much as possible. So, you can even use the floor or, the back of the chair or your door. So it'll showcase the item itself, and also make sure if there's any imperfections, stains, whatever. Those are the things that, try not to forget to take photos. That way your buyers would know the actual condition of the item. And this usually prevent, returns. You don't want a surprise buyer. So, and
Yeah.
then
Oh, That's brilliant. That's really, really good. And do you know what I think you should do? I think you should have your husband film you taking pictures, like a behind the scenes, like especially if it's a crazy one, like you're balancing chairs on chairs to get the best light,
Right.
to put something on. The lengths I go to for my art.
Right.
Oh, well, it's been amazing. Thank you ever so much, Pinky. I feel like hopefully like the listeners are now like enthused to go and like have a look what's in the closets, the drawers, the wardrobes, like start selling online. And obviously, like I said, if you've got anything, the higher priced items, if you actually want to work with Pinky to get the most out of everything, then like look her up and the everything will be in the show notes. But thank you ever so much, Pinky. You have been a wonderful guest.
So much. Thank you. I've enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening today. I hope you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. And as always, any links or anything mentioned will be in the show notes. If you haven't connected with me yet, I'd love to meet you. So come find me on Instagram at Debbie Westwell. Why not slide into my DMs and tell me what you thought of this episode? And if you like what you hear, then please follow me or hit the bell icon, share with somebody like you who would benefit from listening, and all positive reviews are greatly appreciated. Thank you for being your wonderful self, and I can't wait to chat next time.